Like
Do
a
we
number
really
one,
have to
maybe?
narrow it down? There's a lot that's worrying me as a woman, as a mother, and not just that, but as a human being, what we value. And I feel very grateful, on the other hand, that we are all becoming so much more conscious, and we're becoming so much more involved, and we're becoming active. And I feel like there's an awakening that's happened.
An important order just dropped in court regarding Blake Lively, and it changes everything. According to the new directive, no further subpoenas can be issued, and all document production under existing subpoenas must be completed by July 25th. That's the deadline, no extensions. Under federal rules, subpoena recipients are entitled to 2 weeks to respond, either to comply or object. So, the clock has effectively run out. Blake Lively's team can no longer subpoena anyone else. This brings a halt to what some critics are calling her harassment campaign. As of now, there have been no motions to quash from the 3 creators she's targeted: Perez, Candace, and Andy Sr. But there's no guarantee she'll get what she's after. The judge was clear: any motions to compel must be filed by August 1st, and the parties involved must respond by July 11th if they object to the proposed discovery deadlines. The core of this dispute revolves around discovery timelines. Blake's legal team submitted documents arguing the opposition was being uncooperative. Meanwhile, Wayfair's legal team did the same, accusing her side of the exact same thing. Blake's lawyers stated her deposition was set for July 17th, yet then pivoted to claim that Brian Friedman, the opposing counsel, was lying about her. They accused him of consistently misrepresenting her intentions and obstructing the process. One key detail: Blake's attorneys revealed in court filings that the video footage provided for deposition prep was missing audio, making it impossible for her to prepare. They requested the deposition be held at her attorney's office, citing security concerns. That, they claimed, was necessary due to threats by Friedman, including allegedly planning to live-stream the deposition or even sell tickets to it, a claim described as hyperbolic but detailed in recent filings. In a bizarre twist, Blake's team attached a 400-page sanctions motion from an entirely different case, a sexual harassment lawsuit against Friedman involving Vin Diesel. That case accuses Friedman of physically aggressive behavior, including threatening to punch opposing counsel. Friedman's side denies these claims and suggests the opposing attorney was the aggressor. Notably, no restraining order was filed, raising doubts about the credibility of the accusations. Still, Blake's attorneys painted Friedman as a threat to Blake's safety and pushed to move her deposition location. But the judge ignored the entire issue, focusing instead on formal deadlines. Document production ends July 25th, depositions must be completed by September 30th, and objections to the proposed order are due July 11th. Despite dramatic accusations, the judge chose not to weigh in on allegations of misconduct during depositions. Discovery disputes and lawyer confrontations are common, but in this case, Blake's team appears to run to the court frequently, portraying her as a victim and escalating minor procedural issues into crises. Meanwhile, British tabloid journalist Rod Schuster reported that Ryan Reynolds is banned from attending Blake's deposition, allegedly to prevent him from distracting her. But it's likely not about distraction. There's a protective order in place. Depositions and their transcripts are to be treated as confidential or attorney's eyes only for 30 days. Since Ryan is no longer a party to the case, his presence could violate that order. He might later be deposed as a witness, but he has no right to observe the depositions of others. One theory is that Ryan's presence could influence or coach Blake. Deposition testimony must remain untainted. Witnesses are routinely asked on the record whether they were influenced during breaks. Coaching is a serious issue, especially with high-profile figures like Blake and Ryan, who have never been publicly deposed before. Ensuring they give testimony free from external influence is critical. Incidentally, a message surfaced from a woman whose brother worked as an extra on the set of The Change-Up, a film starring Ryan Reynolds. The story paints Ryan as paranoid and aggressive, reportedly berating an extra so harshly that it left bystanders shocked. If true, it aligns with other allegations, like those made by Justin, who claims Ryan berated him over a dispute involving Blake. So perhaps Blake's team has reason to keep Ryan out of the room, not for her focus, but for everyone's safety and the integrity of her testimony. Observers in depositions aren't allowed to speak, influence, or interact. If Ryan is hot-headed or manipulative, as multiple accounts suggest, that could undermine the legal process. As of now, Blake's deposition is scheduled to take place in New York, at the office of her legal team, Mester and Schuster, where Kevin Fritz practices, not at Brian Friedman's office. It remains unclear whether that office is under surveillance or what can be verified about any alleged conduct. At the end of the day, the judge disregarded all character accusations and laid out a clear order. Discovery ends in September, subpoenas must wrap up by July 25th, and the time for intimidation tactics through subpoenas is over. This ruling effectively cuts off Blake and Ryan's access to subpoena others, limiting their power to demand private phone records, intimidate creators, or manipulate testimony. It's a decisive move by the court, a boundary finally drawn. The era of using legal resources to bully smaller creators appears to be over. Blake and Ryan's influence has finally been checked. From 0 to 6. Every single subscriber means the world to me. Sparkling Heart, this is just the beginning, and my heart is set on reaching 1,000. It's more than a number, it's my dream. Help me turn it into reality. Let's grow together, step by step.